What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the weekend. You finally made it. Oh, 311. I made it, coach. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us again. We are here to keep you company one more time for the weekend, talking about the sports that have happened this past week and seeing what's going on. Thank you guys, as always, for joining us. Before we get started, once again, as always, don't forget to follow us on the social media scene. You can follow us on Twitter at @theblown_save and on Instagram at @theblown_save. Don't forget, you guys can still also reach out to us at theblownSavePodcast@gmail.com or head on over to theblownSavePodcast.com. Check out some of our stuff, talking about me and Artie and kind of how we started and everything going on. But you know, I can't do nothing without my compadre, so let's bring him on in here. Compa, how you doing, baby?
What's up? Friday night, the weekend's here.
Woo-hoo! Hooty hoo.
Just want to see some Christmas lights, and they were beautiful.
Right, were they twinkly?
They were twinkly, twinkly.
Were the kids in awe? Like, aw.
They had a real good time. Yeah, they love seeing the lights and all that stuff. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun, you know. It's just getting that Christmas spirit, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I'm grateful for all the things we have and for another year for those that didn't make it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Thankful for everybody who's still here with us, and thankful for the people that are no longer with us, who are no longer in pain or suffering or any of that, and they're resting in peace and paradise. But yeah, on that note right there, on that amazing note, before we go ahead started on the show, I did want to say congratulations to our friend from the show, Mr. Derrick Mckinnon, aka D-Smack, and his wife Jordan. They will be bringing a little bundle of joy into the world. Both Compa and I know how it is to have our first child, and that being a boy as well. So I know he's really excited about playing baseball and moving forward with sports and stuff like that with his newborn son. He will be born in March. So, you know, D-Smack, congratulations to you and Jordan once again. The adventure is only beginning. You think you know, but you have no idea. Me and the comadre will also be bringing in our third son right around that same time. At the end of February, I believe, is when we're having the baby. But still, congratulations to D-Smack and the family, the whole McKinnons. Congratulations, guys, on your first baby.
Okay. Good luck, sir. Good luck.
That's all we can tell him, right? Is good luck. Hope you didn't like sleeping, because you know you're not getting much of that now.
Only if you're a Sanchez.
Oh, I know, right? Jesus. All right, let's jump into NCAA football. We haven't really talked a lot about it, but there's a couple things I did want to touch on. The NCAA football banned the fake slide after Kenny Pickett's rushing touchdown in the ACC championship game this last week. Let me just paint the picture for you real quick. Pickett was flushed out of the pocket as he ran upfield, motioned like he was going into a slide, making the defense pull up and stop pursuing. When he sees this, instead of going into the slide completely, he popped up and kind of ran down the field and scored a 58-yard rushing touchdown, which kind of changed the momentum of the game and how things were going. The NCAA committee came out and put in place a rule immediately. They were like, yeah, no, we got to make a rule about this, because there was none. Ironically, there was no rule saying they couldn't do that. But basically they said, moving forward, any motion made that looks like a quarterback is going into a slide, the ball is immediately blown dead and the play will not be reviewable. So it doesn't matter if maybe it didn't look like he was going to slide, but if the referees think it looks like it, then that's what it was. Ultimately, it was a timely exploitation of the lack of a rule that a quarterback took advantage of. What do you think about that situation? Do you think, it's all fair and game? He didn't go down. Nobody, in college football, as soon as, anybody puts their knee down, they're down. Nobody has to be touched by them. But I saw the video a couple different times, Copa. I don't know if you had. He kind of turns and looks like he moves his shoulder and he notices nobody's coming to get him and he just keeps running. So it's going to be, I don't know. What do you think about them implementing the rules so quickly to make sure that doesn't happen again?
I think that's the way it should be, though, to be honest, because they're deceiving the players,
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude. So I think it's something that should really happen,
Yeah. Do you think they should have called the penalty at the time? Or at least blown the play dead?
I don't think it was a penalty at the time, right?
No.
It was possible,
do you think they should have blown the play dead as he motioned like he was going to? Even though the rule wasn't in place?
Uh, yeah, probably. It's real deceitful.
It was. It's the ACC championship game too.
Yeah, yeah, man. It really changed the momentum of that game with that one play.
And it's those rules are put in place to protect the quarterback, right? But if the quarterback's going to take advantage of those rules, then you know what I mean. You gotta blow that play dead, regardless of if his ultimate intention was to keep running, since nobody was going to go tackle him or touch him down. I mean, but that's what the defense does. As soon as they shows like he's going to slide, all right, pull up, walk away. Like, hey, we don't want that 15-yard extra penalty or that unsportsmanlike conduct or whatever it might be. I just think they should have blown the play dead at that point. They should have called. They should have convened and called the touchdown back and made him down. Give him 1st and 10. That's fine, because I think he passed the markers. But give him 1st and 10 from the point where he was about to slide and call it a day. Keep the game going. Might have changed the outcome of the game, but we don't know at this point, right? But it was a huge momentum changer when it did happen.
Yeah, for sure. It was just deceitful, and it's one of those, like, quarterbacks have all the edges for everything,
Mm-hmm.
And then now you kind of take something an edge, and you just deceive them, like anything that in baseball that's deceitful is usually declared illegal. So Same thing right there. It should have been like an inverted whistle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, one of those. Oh, my bad. I thought you slid. You fooled me.
Oh well, ball's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, now nobody's going to make that mistake again. Granted, I mean, that's going right into, the playoff, well, not the playoffs, but the bowl games and the playoffs. Bowl games and the playoffs and what's going to happen moving forward. But thankfully, they were swift and took care of it. There was no room for speculation or, hey, could it? No, they're like, no, we're just going to go ahead and shut that down. Yes, do it.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Continuing on with the NCAA football, the playoff schedule is here. Alabama takes on red hot Cincinnati in the Cotton Bowl in Arlington at the AT&T Stadium, and Michigan will take on Georgia in the Orange Bowl at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Both are playing on New Year's Eve. Compadre, who do you got?
I mean, I'm one of those that I think it's always going to be like the bigger teams in there, right?
Right.
So it's going to be Alabama and Georgia, I guess. I'd like to see the lower teams, though. I'd like to see the Michigan.
I mean,
Michigan and Cincinnati.
When Cincinnati won their game to go to put them in this position, all of Cincinnati was yelling like, "We want Bama, we want Bama." Well, you fucking got Bama. Buena suerte. Good luck to you. Notre Dame was 5th. They almost made it into the playoffs for the title game. So I mean, that was pretty awesome of them. I think Alabama. I mean, just you got to take
the 4. I'm rooting for Michigan.
Yeah.
Michoacan.
I love seeing those shirts. It looks like it says Michigan, but it says Michoacan.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Michigan against Georgia in the Orange Bowl. I think Michigan's going to go to the championship game, but I do think Alabama's going to beat Cincinnati. If Cincinnati does win, man, that's going to be an upset, and it'd be awesome to see Cincinnati and Michigan. I think we've had enough of Alabama in the championship game already. They're like usually the AP poll number 1 at the beginning of the year, and that's kind of where they stay. So it'd be nice.
Wasn't Michigan the first team to be in the top 4 when they came into the season
unranked? Yep.
Yeah, so I was seeing that on SportsCenter, the first team to be officially not ranked coming into the season and then finish in the top 4.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a hell of a game, man. The Michigan Georgia game will be the later one in the evening. I think it's at 7:25 Eastern Standard Time. And then the Bama game is early. I think it's at 1:35 Eastern Standard Time. So it'd be good to watch both games. 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. So for those of us who don't have to work on New Year's Eve, you get a whole 2.5 weeks off or 3 weeks off.
3 weeks, yeah. I probably won't watch the college games. I'm not big on college. I haven't been watching much football, NFL this year lately.
I know, because you know how I know? I've been kicking your ass and picking the games. So that's how I know you haven't been really paying attention. So, hey, you might squeak into the fantasy football playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It could happen. Yeah, you have to win this week, and I forget who has to lose this week. And you would switch basically positions, because I think you're sixth, or you're seventh, and then the sixth place guy. Yeah, and the sixth place guy is one game ahead of you. I think it's Andy, because I'm playing Andy, and you beat Andy, so you would have the tiebreaker on him.
Okay.
So you need me to beat him, and you need to win.
There you go.
I'll do it for you, compa. I will do it for you. Let's see what else is going on in NCAA football. Oh yeah, USC has a new coach. There we go. Lincoln Riley is now a Trojan. He brings with him some talented players, including a 5-star quarterback and a wide receiver. He also came out and said that he wants to bring a national championship back to USC in the next 5 years. There's a lot of work to be done, but do you think he can actually get it done? 5 years is a very lofty, but attainable goal. You don't think so?
Nope.
He's got to do some crazy-ass recruiting, man, to be able to get enough players to go over there to make that a championship team.
He does. I don't know, man. I feel like the USC lore has faded. Like
he thinks he's going to be the one. He thinks he's going to be the one to reignite the Trojan faithful.
That's what every USC
every year it says.
Yeah. Yeah. You really, it comes down to recruiting, dude.
It really
At the
does.
College level, that's all it is, man, is recruiting, because like these dudes, it's really not like the players or coaching anymore, that kind of thing. It's just who could get these bigger, stronger, faster dudes.
I mean, if you want somebody with a name to be able to bring some people in, Lincoln Riley's a name that's going to be able to bring some people in. Like, he's already taken a couple 5-star recruits. So
yeah, man. So yeah, it's all about recruiting. You ask me at that level. I mean, they really got to start looking into like the Texas area, recruiting, not just SoCal. SoCal, yeah, has it, but man, they really got to go into the Texas area.
They got to go nationwide. It's just hard, because if you go into Texas, all the Texas high school kids want to go to Texas Tech, want to go to the University of Texas, Texas A&M. I mean, the big ones are there, man. It's difficult to pull those kids out of Texas to get out of it, but it's possible. I mean, and especially now with the ability to be able to play these players to get like sponsorships and stuff like that, you do want to. I'm sure a lot of these players are going to be wanting to go to a larger market team, and USC happens to be that on the west side, so that may also entice a couple people to go over there.
Yep, totally agree. So I mean, we'll see.
If not 5 years, sir, how long do you think before USC is a contender again?
I mean, they always contend, but I mean, for a national title.
Well, I mean, they did not contend this year. They didn't even contend for.
You're right, I guess. But I mean, for a national title, bro, I feel like it's a fluke, when they start to contend, because they really haven't contended since Reggie Bush was there,
Yeah.
in that group. And then before that, what, like 1 year under Carson Palmer?
They
won.
I
wouldn't even be able to tell you.
They won the Pac-12 championship a couple years ago. They beat out Penn State.
12 is like, that's not. I'm not impressed when you hear there's like so many divisions, bro. Like
there's like 900 divisions in NCAA football.
Yeah. I'm talking about like dudes finishing inside the top 10, ranked inside the top 10.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Like that's really the ultimate goal. Like, I want to see him break the top 10 before we start talking about like when competing for a national title.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. When do you think that? When do you think that happens?
I don't know. I gotta see what
you don't think it's in 5 years?
No. I guess no. I mean, if we're being honest.
Yeah, Lincoln, we're paying attention.
Okay, fine. In year number 5, if he's still there, maybe breaks top 10.
Okay. 5 years to break the top 10.
4 years to turn over your program.
Oh, yeah.
Just to get the guys all years. And I mean, dude, have any of these USC coaches been staying longer than 4 years?
Not right now.
I can't remember. I mean, I could be wrong, but Yeah, I haven't seen one stay for 4 years or longer, you know?
Yeah.
Not lately. Not since Pete Carroll. I mean, I could be wrong, dude, but I don't follow it that much. But, I mean, I feel like I'm hearing a USC head coach
every other couple years.
Every couple of years. Inside of 5, inside of 4.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, the programs think that, bringing a new coach, you guys can get it done in like 2-3 years. Like, it's not going to happen. You need at least 4 to 5 to turn over your organization, get the recruits in, get everybody pumping and going the right way. Realistically, I think in 7 years they could make the school competitive again at the national level. But he said 5, so we'll see. Let's see here. Moving on to the MLB. There's a few different things that I want to talk about in the MLB. Not too much, but we are going to touch on the best free agents still available. If you want to call them the best, there are some good ones and then some that are like, maybe it's time to retire. But before then, the implementation of the universal DH is something that has been a topic of talks for a long time, but has gained more traction over the last 5 to 10 years. Do you think it's time for the universal DH to finally happen, Artie? Which players do you think that are on the cusp of retiring, are on the later years of their career that would benefit from the universal DH coming in right now?
I mean, I've told you, I'm old school. I've never been a big fan of like only going DH,
Right.
Like that's part of the strategy is dropping bunts, moving runners over, and I think baseball has gone away from that. Like moving guys over, dropping bunts, playing an all around
small
game.
ball,
It's all become an on base percentage and hit over the fence type of game. That's why batting averages are so low.
Everybody's swinging for the fences when they don't need to.
So I'm not a big fan of it. But I mean, if they did it, cool. Who would benefit?
Who off the top of your
cats,
Who off the top of your head would be like, wow, they could be a DH? Obviously, the American League players, we can go on and on about which ones are already there, but like National League players who would benefit from the DH position.
National League players, Albert Pujols. I mean, he would finish with the NL,
Yeah.
So some of those older cats, where they're predominantly really good against one side of the ball, like Jock Peterson be like another amazing DH, but he's a solid defender too, though.
Yeah.
But like he's a dude, that is pretty much a right-handed pitching killer, and then horrible against like left-handed.
Yeah.
So he would be one. Just those older cats that are coming in and basically becoming pinch hit specialists instead of DHs,
Yeah. So you think you'd rather just have it continue to be a pinch hit specialist than having an actual DH position?
Well, that's not necessarily the way I see it. I said I'd rather have the old school where you're doing the moving the runners over. It becomes part of the strategy of the game,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like these older cats that are pinch hit specialists. I don't even think they're very good,
Yeah.
I think Pools is just a dog and pony show,
Yeah. Although you did tell me every single time he got a hit or a home run or he scored something, you were really quick to tell me, hey, look what Theo Albert did.
he did seem a little more motivated.
He did.
To play with the Dodgers.
He did.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he wasn't doing it against any quality pitchers,
Yeah. This is very true. Speaking of Pujols, because he's at 278 or 678. Sorry, 678 home runs. Do you think somebody's going to give him the opportunity? And if they do, does he hit 700?
I think it will take him 2 years to hit 700. I don't think he hits 700 this year. That's 22 tanks, dude, this year. Somebody's going to have to play him every day in order for him to hit 22 tanks.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody plays him every day.
Do you think somebody like...
It's going to have to be an American League team because ain't nobody want to put him on liability.
Well, do you think somebody like, let's just say the Orioles go out and say, hey, we'll play you at the DH, but, because obviously they're going to do it more for the pulling in people to come in and watch the games, because how many people are lining up to go watch the Orioles? Let's be realistic here. Or somebody like, who else do we have that's not been doing very well? The Twins.
Tigers.
The Tigers.
The Twins have been doing all right.
The Tigers.
I would say the Tigers for sure.
I would have said Texas, but Texas just picked up a bunch of players.
Yeah, you're right. Texas would have been a good fit too, for sure. You're right. Minnesota didn't have a good year.
I'm right once in a while.
Detroit. I mean, they didn't have a great year, but I mean, when it's better in Kansas City and Minnesota, Detroit makes the most sense. Baltimore, they lost 110 games. Jeez Louise. I mean, they fit, but they got like so many young players. They just don't got any young pitching,
Yeah.
They got more like young hitters. But Texas, Baltimore, and Detroit would make the most sense to me.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I mean, I could have seen the Angels,
picking them back up.
Like I don't understand, like not to be mean, but you guys weren't contending for anything, and you had dudes dropping like flies. You had Trout, with the vagina strain, and I don't even know what happened to Walsh after the All-Star game. That dude disappeared.
No idea. Oh, he got hurt for a minute, but then never got back on rhythm.
Yeah, he was never really that guy,
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, dude, those are two like big names that just kind of fell off the map. Adele, is that dude ever gonna be the guy that we think he is?
I've been saying it for a year and a half now. Put him in a trade offer, and let him be somebody else's problem. We got plenty of other guys coming up that can survive that. Use him as your biggest trading chip and go get some pitching.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I think the Angels would have been a good fit too. I don't think anybody wants to really go play for Minnesota, Kansas City type of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe Detroit, I guess,
I mean, if you throw enough money at them and you go, hey, man, we're going to let you play every day at the DH.
For sure.
Yeah, with bonuses for hitting 700, for bonuses for hitting 715, 720, 7. I know. I'm just saying. I'm throwing it out there, man.
I think he could. I think realistically, if someone plays him every day, he could get right around the 25 marker for tanks.
Yeah, I think he could.
You're gonna get a 250, 240 batting average, liability on the base pass, liability defensively. He'll get 25 home runs and maybe like 60, high 60 home runs, low 70s RBIs. I'm sorry, high 60 RBIs, low 70 runs and RBIs. And runs, honestly, just double, like 50 to maybe like 60 runs scored, because he just can't really run.
Yeah.
Those aren't numbers you could really be, like, depending on,
Yeah, very true. Which is why I said it's going to take a team that is going to get him for more of the publicity pool, like the Marks of 700 kind of thing, than it is a team that's like, oh, man, we need to get you because, of the ball player you are now. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. After Max Scherzer mentioned that he would love to see Buck Showalter as the new manager of the New York Metropolitans, his wish may have come true. Showalter met with the organization, and they seem very impressed by what they heard. You may be looking at the next manager of the Mets. Do you think the Mets actually hire him? And how much pull do you think Scherzer had in the possible hiring of Mr. Buck Showalter?
Well, they're saying that was basically his recommendation, like that was a dude that he said, like, oh, that's who I want, so then that's who they got,
Well, it's not set in stone yet. Do you think it's pretty much?
Pretty much. If he's saying it,
Yeah.
That dude's there. Hey, I'm there to win a title. We got 3 years. Let's make it happen. I don't think Showalter's a dude, but sure, go for it. I don't understand why they're bringing all of these old school dudes. Then you want these old school dudes to put in these new school mentalities of, like, of the on base percentage and hit it over the fence type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, it's all fun and games until like a year later, once the honeymoon period's over and they're not happy with having to run the ship like that,
Yeah. No, so, absolutely. I mean, at some point you have to put some new blood in there, and you have to allow them to connect with the players on a different level. Just because, I mean, Showalter, just like who's the other cat that came back?
La Russa.
La Russa. I mean, he said, "Oh yeah, I connect with the players," but there was a bit of discourse or disconnect there between him and the White Sox players. So,
yeah, I agree, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't. And is it me, or did Showalter never really have success anywhere, like major success?
I don't remember him. You're right. I don't remember him having like great success. I mean, where did he coach? Do you know all the teams he coached?
Baltimore, the Yankees. Baltimore, the Yankees. Those are the two ones I remember for sure. Baltimore, and it was just brutal times over there, you know?
He managed the Yankees, the Diamondbacks, the Rangers, the Orioles.
I was going to say the Rangers too, but I thought that one was wrong.
He's almost
the Diamondbacks. I should have remembered.
He's almost down the middle when it comes to wins and losses. 15-51 wins, 15-17 losses.
That's not good.
That is not good. I don't know I don't know what he told Scherzer, but was like, "Hey man, hook it up, man. Tell him I want to go over there." He did win Manager of the Year back in '94 and 2004. He also won it in 2014. So he's won Manager of the Year 3 different times, but I don't think any of those years did his teams do anything. Let's see, 2014.
Anything ending with a 4. Okay, so then in what, 3 more years to win it?
At the end of his contract, he'll do well. 2014, he led the Baltimore Orioles to a 96-66 season. They didn't do much after that. Let's see here. 2004, Texas Rangers. They went 89-73. And then in 1994, with the Yankees, he went 70-43. And he was.
Oh, that was strike short in year, right?
Yeah.
Had to have been.
It had to have been. No, it says 162 games there.
And he went 70-something. He must have took over for somebody, I guess?
I don't know. In 1999, it was his best year. He was coaching the Diamondbacks. They went 100 games and they lost 62. So that was his best over his career. That's his best one. His worst one, I think, came, I would have said last year, but back in 2010 with the Orioles. That was a shortened season, or I don't know if he came in and took over somebody else, but that was only 57 games that he managed, and it was a 34-23 record. So, well, good luck. Good luck to the Metropolitans if they end up going with Buck Showalter. But hey, it is what it is at that point, right? Not on my team, not my guy.
Yep.
Here's a big one that I've been wanting to talk to you about, man. MLB has reportedly instructed their reporters not to cover any current players on social media. The MLB network has shifted to archival content instead of including remastered footage of the great Babe Ruth hitting at old Yankee Stadium, which is really cool. I got to see it, and that's freaking awesome, right? But for you, Artie, compadre, as a former writer for the OC Register, how do you feel about MLB instructing their reporters not to cover current stories and players? Like, how do you feel about that?
That kind of sucks, I mean, but they're the ones that sign the checks, too, at the same day, if that's who you're working for,
Yeah. But if they're not reporting, are they still getting paid?
I don't know how any of that
I'm not
works
sure.
anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works at all. But to me, it would be like, hey, you're not working. Why am I paying you?
Yeah. Manipulating the narrative, right?
Yeah.
So that's not a good sign.
No.
I don't know. I was talking to you. I don't know if it was you or what. We said, right? Oh, was it last week? We were talking about like when we think, when we hope.
Yeah.
Type of thing, So I don't know, man. I haven't heard anything good,
Yeah, neither have I. Nothing moving forward. I think nothing's going to happen until after the new year. I don't think anything's going on right now. Everybody's trying to take their little holiday and not worry about stuff. And I think that nothing's going to happen until the beginning of the year. First, second of the year, we're going to start hearing news about talks or whatever it might be. I still don't think we start on time. I still think May, June is when we're going to start. Before summer, definitely. I think late May or very early June.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. And do you think they just play out the season in that way, or do you think they try and squeeze a bunch of double headers with the shortened innings and stuff like that?
It's kind of like how they did last year.
Yeah.
I mean, damn, if they did it last year, they'll probably do it again.
Yeah.
The next year.
Right on.
I can see that a lot. A lot of the 7-inning double headers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Well, here's the next thing I was going to talk about. You know the name. It carries some weight. And so far, 2 men with that name can put the ball in orbit. And it seems like another Guerrero, Vladimir Miguel Guerrero, to be exact, is turning heads. He could be the great Big Daddy Vladdy. He has another amazing ball player as a son. This one who hits from the left side of the plate instead of the right side of the play. He's a lefty at 15 years old playing in Dominican Republic. He's already garnering eyes from the big leagues. He put on a show the other day at batting practice. He was fucking hitting the ball like his dad, like his brother. What do you think about Vladimir Miguel?
He has that David Ortiz feel to him. I don't know if you saw the hacks and stuff like that. He had that David Ortiz feel to him. So, I mean, I could see he's a big boy. He does not get cheated.
Well, those Guerreros are not tiny people, man.
Well, I mean, Vlad was a tiny guy. He was a skinny dude. He was tall.
Yeah.
But he was pretty skinny, man. He wasn't like, Vladdy Jr. and then what this kid is,
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm just like, damn, dude. Wow, crazy. Remember their Uncle Corky over there? He was a little twig. But yeah, man, he's definitely got that David Ortiz feel to him when I saw him swinging. That was like the first person that came to mind when I saw him swing. He was taking some big hacks, pretty solid and pretty compact swing. The bat path just reminded me a lot of David
Ortiz, yeah.
Yeah, for
he looked really good, man. I didn't know he was a lefty until I started watching the video.
I didn't know he had another son until I saw the video. I'm like, damn, what?
Could they be the first father and 2-son Hall of Fame people?
There's still a long.
I know it's still a long way to go for Vladdy Jr. Yeah. But the way it looks, man, I mean, they could be looking at one of the greatest baseball families if all plays out, correctly. But
I don't know about greatest, the Boons are probably the number ones.
I said say. One of, bro. They'd be at the table. We've talked about this before. The table conversation.
The kids' table.
If Vladdy Jr. wins an MVP, makes it to the Hall of Fame, and Vladdy Miguel wins an MVP, goes to the Hall of Fame, you don't think that puts them at the table?
That's if.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. If all plays out the way they wanted to.
Imagine if Leo and Juan go major leagues and make it the Hall of Fame. I mean, and then they have kids, and imagine if. Say all kinds of ifs.
Yeah, right?
So I would say no. I would say Vladdy's a very good player. He made his first All-Star game and faded down the stretch. He needs to figure that out, but he's super young. But he just strikes me as a dude that's not. I mean, his body, bro. His body is just looks like a dude that's not built to last. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's he did such a young age.
He lost 25 pounds going into the season this year.
Means he could find him some other time later. He can find him later. And baseball is all about longevity. And I mean, there's not many dudes his size that lasted that long.
Yeah.
Kirby Puckett. I don't even know. I don't know, dude. He's a good size. He plays first. He's not even a good defensive first baseman.
Yeah.
Like his dad was a hell of a defensive player, man.
Absolutely.
Bazooka for an arm, and a just solid defender. Solid. But bazooka for an arm, ran well. Was rarely injured, rarely faded in baseball. Dude.
Right on.
I don't know. I want to see more consistency, and like I said, I don't know, people his size are. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying you need to see it first.
It's a rarity to see somebody of his stature be able to play the game long enough to matter for a long time. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Fucking A, man. I'll take the I'll take it. All right, man. They had a list of the best free agents still available. There's a couple guys on here who are in the twilight years of their careers. If we get to them, or when we get to them, if you feel that you think that maybe it's time for them to hang it up, then we'll go with that. If not, then we'll see where it could be a possibility of these guys go, or if they fade off into the night. Sounds like a plan?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, first we got outfielder Andrew Mccutchen going into his age 35 season. Now, Cutch ain't the old Cutch no more.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
He'd be a good DH somewhere. He'd be a good NL DH type of player,
Yeah. He can still move. I mean, he can't move like he used to, but he can still move. So
right.
it'd be somebody.
He didn't have that bad of a season, but again, he's like a 250 hitter, with, maybe 20 home runs,
Mm-hmm.
So.
I don't think
leadership.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think you get him for the home runs. I think you get him more for on base and moving guys over.
The leadership, for sure.
Left-handed pitcher Tyler Anderson going in his age 31 season.
I'm not quite sure. Is he a reliever?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, left-handers are always going to hanging around.
All right, so he's getting signed somewhere.
Yeah. Will take him.
Andrelton Simmons at shortstop. He's only at age 32. I mean, he looks like he's 42. He moves like he's 36, but he's 32 years old. Do you think he re-signs with the Twins, or do you think somebody's going to pick him up?
FTP, that's the fool that left the Angels, right?
I know.
Middle of the night type of thing.
Yep. He's like, I can't do it no more.
Yeah.
And he left.
Someone will pick him up, dude. He's just good defensively and gets hot once in a while with the bat.
Yeah. He's not going to hit you home runs, but he's going to get you on base.
Yep.
It's the outfielder Tommy Pham going in his age 33 season.
He's pretty good. Someone will pick him up too, but he's injury prone. Never stays healthy.
Gotcha.
Someone will pick him up though for sure.
Third baseman Kyle Seager, age 34 season.
I mean, dude, Angels need to pick this guy up. I like him. He could play DH first, third. Left-handed bat's gonna hit you. He's gonna hit like the 250, 260 marker with 30 tanks and 80, 90 RBIs. Type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I don't want.
Probably won't even be very expensive.
That I will agree with you. Whoever picks him up, I don't think he's gonna have to pay that much to get him.
They're gonna get him I think they're gonna get for the production and the value. I think he's right up there, man. He's probably one of the best ones on this list. You ask me.
Right on. I do ask you. That's why we're here. Right-handed pitcher Ryan Tepera going in at age 34. He's another reliever.
He's a dude with the White Sox, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he was the one that was talking smack about the Astros and, oh, man, it's funny how they're hitting better at home, blah, blah, blah. I mean, he had a pretty solid season, same thing. Reliever, if he knows that he's a right-handed relief pitcher out of the bullpen, he threw fine, so I don't see why not. Someone pick him up.
Okay. Colin Mchugh, also a right-handed pitcher, going in his age 34 season.
I think he's a starter, though, right?
I believe Mchugh is a starter, yes.
Yeah. I think he had a pretty solid year this past year, so I say, yeah, someone picks him up.
Right on. People picking up all these players, man. Left-handed, everybody always needs pitching. Left-handed pitcher Andrew Shafin, age 31.
Phillies or was it Cubs?
I want to say the Phillies.
Yeah, same. Left-handed pitcher out of the bullpen. Hey, you're going to be around for a minute.
Ain't that the freaking truth?
You just ain't going to get any big contracts with it. I feel like they're year to maybe 2-year contracts at best.
Yeah. Let me know when you think somebody's going to have an actual, like, a big, I don't want to say a big contract. More than 2 or 3 years. I know there's a couple in here towards the end here. Outfielder Eddie Rosario, age 30.
I mean, he was pretty good, man. Okay, more than what, 3 years? He could get a 4 year somewhere.
Yeah. What do you think? Yeah. Small market team, big market team?
I mean, he ain't gonna break the bank or anything, but maybe like he's a left-handed outfielder, so maybe Baltimore would be a decent fit, or the Tigers, that'd be pretty good, good hitter.
I was thinking Arizona because Calhoun's not there anymore, so they need that right fielder over there. Could work. Listen up, Arizona. Left-handed pitcher Yusei Kikuchi, age 30 season.
He's 30, maybe not getting 4 or 5, so 2 or 3. 30 years old, that's fine,
As a left-handed pitcher, as you said before, left-handed pitching is always there.
He's a starter though, I believe, so he'd have to be someone's number 5,
Yeah, I'd take him at 5.
Yeah, he'd be someone's number 5.
Sure. Here's a big one for you, Mr. Kenley Jansen, age 34. Is he staying with the Dodgers?
No, I hope not. Well, now that freaking Rosario re-signed with the Angels, and then what's the name? Yates got picked up by Chicago.
I forget who they picked up,
but he got signed somewhere for 2 years. I'm like, whoa. They're not gonna break the bank out. He's 34, bro. Like he had a great year this past year and became all quirky and stuff like that. I guess you gotta do that once your stuff starts fading a little bit.
Yeah.
But it took him like having to know that he was on a contract season to like start trying to do something different.
Yeah.
If that's the case, give him a 2-year deal with a team option for that second year. There you go. You want to throw some big money at him with a 2-year deal, team option for a second year.
I like it. I like where that goes. Who else we got here? Outfielder Michael Conforto, 28 years old.
Someone's gonna overpay for this guy because he's young and he's got a lot of potential.
Yeah,
potential, man. If he has, the thing is for me, I always say, man, if they didn't break out by the 27, you're really banking on that 28 year, I guess, because that's the prime of someone's career. Like when they're at 27, they should be at their peak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they could maintain it for a couple years, but they should be at their peak. So he's right there at that peak, man. He should. I think someone's gonna give this dude a 4, maybe 5-year deal.
You're right. All right. Fucking A. He's still young, 28.
Yep.
So it'd be a good investment for 4 years. DH Nelson Cruz, age 41, came in with midway through the season, got traded to the Rays. Put up some halfway decent numbers for a man of 40.
Yep.
Do you think it's time for him to hang him up, or do you think somebody's going to give him some money?
He hits tanks, bro. He still hits tanks.
When he hits them,
he's got to be that left-handed specialist, so
Yeah.
And DH, so it's got to be an American League team. But if someone's gonna pay him a 1-year contract, bro, until this dude till the wheels fall off of him, I feel like someone's gonna pay him a 1-year contract.
All right.
The number's just gonna start going lower and lower and lower every year.
He did have 32 home runs and 86 RBIs this past season.
There you go. 32, bro. Like, yeah, man, those are good numbers.
He's at 449 career home runs. Do you think he's able to get to 500 before he walks off into the sunset?
43. No, I say under.
Under 500?
Under.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Zach Grinky, age 38 season. He finished up 2021 with a 4.16 ERA and a 1.17 WHIP. What do you think? Do you think he's going to get somewhere in a 1-year deal?
I say FTP.
Fuck that puto.
That dude. He's a big crybaby. That when so he was an Angel for a little bit, right?
He was.
So he was with the Dodgers, and then he signed a big contract with Angels. No.
He signed
a big. How was he with Angels?
We picked him up.
For him.
We traded for him. And then afterward, we were thinking about signing. We were trying to sign him, and he signed with you guys. And then when it was it was the re-up, then he signed with I want to say Arizona for a huge contract, and then he got moved to Houston, and that's where he's been at.
Yeah, FTP. We gave him a good offer to stay with us, and he talked smack. Then he said, "Oh, the window for a World Series for them to win the World Series is closed." Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right. Keep that same energy, homie. Keep that same energy. So, yeah, man, I hope he retires. Always making excuses that he's a jerk when it comes to like signing autographs. And yes, I get it. He has all this anxiety around people and blah, 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 blah. Man, he didn't seem to have that anxiety when he went and signed for the big bucks anywhere.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
Jorge Solaire, age 29, he's an outfielder, 2 years removed from setting the Kansas City single-season home run record with 48. However, last year he was hitting an abysmal 192. So,
but finished it off with the World Series MVP.
He did. I mean, that'll change anybody's tune.
He reminds me of a Yoenis Cespedes. I don't know why. But I would not throw any big money at him. I'd give him, I mean, if you want to talk years, I'd give him 3 years.
I was thinking 3 years with the third year, even the second and the third year as an option. So front load the contract and make him sign it, and then, in case it doesn't work out, you're able to cut ties and let him roll.
I could see that.
All right, here we go. Here's one from across the pond here. Outfielder Seiya Suzuki, age 27. He was on a 30-day clock to negotiate a contract with an MLB team. However, because of the lockout, it has frozen. So once everything unlocks and everything goes back to business, he's got 30 days to sign with the team. He's 27 years old. He hit 317, 433, and a 638 with 38 home runs last year in the Japanese league. He's got a career 309 with 4,100 plate appearances over 9 seasons in the Japanese league. He has more walks and strikeouts with 259 over 237 over the past 3 seasons. He's a 3-time winner of the Japanese version of the Gold Glove. A lot of people were trying to sign this guy, including the Yankees, the Padres. Who else did I see that was trying to get on? I forget. Oh, Boston. They're all trying to get to this guy. They think he's going to be the next Matsui. What do you think? Do you think how much money? How many years do you think he's going to get?
Probably a 4 to 5 year contract. Sounds about right. 27, 3, 4. Yeah, maybe right around the 4 or 5 year contract.
4 years, the 5 option.
Yeah, something like that.
Right on.
I could see him, and I did see a lot of teams were interested in him, especially the Yankees, is I think what I had seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I'd be curious. I don't know. I'm never one to really believe all that hype,
Yeah.
I feel like they say that about every player, and only a couple ever work out,
Very much so. Outfielder, first baseman, Mr. Kyle Schwarber, going into age 28 season.
I think he gets 3 to 4 years. Also, I don't think he gets a 5, but I think I think he very well could get a 4-year contract.
I mean, he came out hitting 32 dingers and 71 RBIs at 266.
He's definitely a DH.
Oh, yeah.
He came up as a catcher first, right?
No, I did not.
Yeah, he came up as a catcher first, and then became an outfielder. He was a big-time prospect when he came up, and yeah, dude, he had 1 year. He had a whole bunch of tanks, like 38 tanks or something.
Any lefty who can put up 32 homers is a good guy to have as a DH.
Yeah, so man, I could see him being such a good fit in Boston. I'm surprised they don't try to re-sign him.
Carlos Rodon, age 28, left-handed pitcher. The White Sox non-tendered him last offseason. He struggled to 5.74 ERA in 2019-2020. And then this last year, he put up a 2.31 ERA with 130 strikeouts. But he did show fatigue towards the last part of the season. He ended up with a 2.37 ERA and a .96 WHIP. What do you think? He ended up 5th in Cy Young. Do you think the White Sox hold on to him, or do you think somebody's going to give him some money?
I say the Angels throw some money at him, bro. I mean, he's a pretty damn good pitcher. He has the pedigree for it. I drafted him basically every damn league. And remember, I told you about that 27-year-old breakout year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was 27, and he had that breakout year. So he's at his peak, man. You know, give him 4 years with a 5-year team
option.
You know, and ride the wave, dude. And let's hope he is who we thought he was. You know, he was drafted really high out of college.
Yeah.
So, man, I'll buy. I'll drink the Kool-Aid on this one. I definitely would want the Kool-Aid, especially if for some reason we don't get Kershaw back. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Anthony Rizzo, first baseman, age 32 season. He just finished off his 65 million 4-year extension. So what do you think?
He doesn't get anything more than a 3. I don't think.
3?
I mean,
I was thinking
fades,
2.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anybody gets more than a 3. He's just, that's it, man. He's on the tail end of his career. Great leadership, solid defender, pretty solid hitter, but he's never going to hit you those high 30 tanks anymore, driving 100 runs. You know, he's going to be a 20 home run guy, you know, and 70, 80 RBIs type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
You really want that clogging up first base? I don't know, man. At 32 years old?
Yeah.
I like they get better as they get older, right?
We could hope. We would hope. Let's see here. Clayton Kershaw, age 33 season. He was hurt towards the end of last season. He still put up a 3.55 ERA with a 102 WHIP and 144 strikeouts. I mean, so he still put up fucking numbers, man. Let's just not take that away from him.
I'd say those are the worst numbers of his career.
And that was still really good numbers.
Yeah.
He is a native of Texas, and Texas is starting to spend a lot of money. Do you think they go and sign Kersh for 2, 3, 4 years?
I thought they were going to sign one hitter and one pitcher, man. But when they signed 2 hitters, I don't know, dude.
Well, they said they weren't done spending.
That's what everybody says, and I'm in the best shape of my life, right?
I'm in the best shape of my career.
Yeah. So, I mean, if somebody gets him, it's gonna be him. It's gonna be them. You know, he would face off against Houston a couple more times and more than usual. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I hope that he understands like what legacy means and to be with the Dodgers and be, you know,
I think,
Dodger. And I don't think he's never struck me as a dude that's all about the money, you know?
No, I don't think so either. I think he's got plenty of it. I don't think he's got to worry about that. I think he tells the Dodgers, give me something respectable, and he stays there regardless of whatever else anybody else is throwing at him.
Yeah.
Just because, like you said, just legacy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. So that's what I'm really hoping. And again, if they don't try, as long as they don't try to lowball him, you know?
Yeah.
So I think he comes back.
Right on. Next up, we got Nick Castellanos. He opted out of his final 2 years and $34 million out of a $64 million contract with the Cincinnati Reds after putting it together a career year. He ended up the season hitting 309, 362, and a 576 with 136 OPS, 38 doubles, 34 home runs, and 100 RBIs, man. He had a career-high WAR of 3.2, finished 12th in MVP voting, and he did win the Silver Slugger. So somebody's going to pay. At 29 years old, he would
give him a 5-year contract.
Somebody's going to give him a 5-year contract for sure, even if it's 4 and a 1 year, maybe. I think he gets a 5-year contract. He's going to get paid.
He's going to get paid, too. I agree. He's a very good player, too. I think he gets paid.
I think he gets right around 125 for 5.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there with some bonuses kicked in there.
Maybe. We'll see. But he gets 5 years somewhere.
Yeah. All right, here's a big one for you. We've been talking about the Dodgers possibly getting this guy, Mr. Freddie Freeman.
Yeah. I would love him.
32?
3 years.
3 years?
3 years, fat money.
Stack them. Let's go.
Yeah, 3 years, fat money.
I honestly could see him going to the Dodgers and making an immediate impact in that lineup, not only for the leadership values, but for just he's an amazing player.
Yeah. Everybody's talking about, like, 4 to 5 years. He's not going to get 4 to 5 years. Maybe, I guess, if
somebody's willing to spend the money.
with Atlanta, but I don't think he'd have to take a discount at 4 years with Atlanta. I don't think anybody's going to give him big money for 4 to 5 years. I think he could get big money for 3 years.
What about Chris Bryant, third baseman, outfielder? Mr. Chris Bryant, 29 years old.
Not a big believer in Chris, to be honest. I've said that already. I mean, kept getting hurt again this year. Always something nagging injury, always something this and this and that. I would want nothing to do with that dude. And I think a lot of teams, he just has that history already. He's that guy.
Yeah.
So he's 29. He's a big dude. So if he gets big money, I bet you it's going to be to an American League team that could shift him into the DH.
I can see that happening. Yeah. I know that the Giants were trying to re-sign him at the end of the year because he was basically a rental, and but obviously the lockdown happened. Nothing happened there, so we'll have to wait and see if they do end up signing him again and staying there. And it will. Whoa! You screwed me up on that one. We'll have to see where that goes there. Next up, we got two more guys. We got Trevor Story at shortstop, age 29. His numbers were a little different. At home he was batting 296. On the road though he was batting 200.
Surprise.
It's up there in Colorado. It's not going to travel very well if you get out of there. Do you think where do you think he ends up going?
I don't know where he goes, but I think he gets a 4-year contract somewhere. I do think he's going to get a 4-year contract. Someone that's desperate for hitting.
He's no slouch at defense either.
No, he's not. He's a very good defender. At the very least, you know what you're going to get with him defensively. And he's a good hitter. He just obviously, he's padded a little bit. His stats are a little bit padded
because he played in Coors Field.
Yeah, but someone's going to give him a 4-year deal. Someone that's like, all right, let's go after this guy. Because it's going to take a 4-year deal to get him.
Yeah.
If he gets a 5, I'd be surprised. But I feel like a lot of these new contracts are unless you're really young, they're not a ton of years,
Yeah.
They're shorter with big money,
Right, I got you there. Now, the last guy here, hopefully nobody wants him to get any kind of deal at this point, but still. It's shortstop Carlos Correa, the man who cannot shut the fuck up and wants to get beamed in the head no matter where he goes. He did hit 279, 366, 485 last year with 34 doubles, 26 home runs, and 92 RBIs. He led all the shortstop, 21 defensive runs saved. Blah, 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 blah. People are saying he's going to be the next $300 million man.
Probably, man.
He's 27.
A very good defender. He's 27, very good defender. What's interesting is I don't think he's ever hit 30 home runs, drove in 100 RBIs, or hit 300. I believe those were some stats I saw somewhere. That he's never done that. So, but having said that, he's still an elite defender. He won the Platinum Gold Glove, right?
Yeah. For
the American League, so that just says something. And he is a good hitter. He's just a little jerk off, right?
Yeah.
We always said the Mets, right, was the right fit. Well, everybody said Corey Seager to the Mets, the Mets. I meant the Yankees. But he's another right-handed hitter that the Yankees would throw money at,
they usually throw money at the left-handed guys.
Yeah, and and you're very right on that. And he's just a dude that had, rubbed people the wrong way over there, Judge, who was pretty adamant and vocal about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, is that dude really
I think
over there?
No matter where he goes, he's going to be rubbing people the wrong way.
Yeah, he is.
What do you think his all-time, so he's been playing since 2015, what do you think is his highest home run stat over the last, 6-7 years, whatever it is?
25, 26?
26, bro. Jesus. And that was last year.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Other than that, he only hit 24 one other time. And other than that, he's been sitting in the teens and the low 20s. So,
yeah, dude. So, I'm not surprised. I had heard something about that. So, I think someone's going to overpay for.
No matter where he goes, nobody's going to be beating trash cans for him anymore. So
yeah, so I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't even know where he would go. I mean, I think the best option is for him to go back to Houston.
Yeah,
but I kind of feel like that's not where he's going to get a big, gigantic. He's going to have to go to a crap ass team. I think.
Yeah.
You only pay that money just to have an elite player. Who's going to do that? I don't know.
I mean, you're right. The Yankees should, or I don't know if they should, but they're probably poised to be the ones that give him that big $300 million contract. I don't see another team that's going to be able to do that other than Houston, especially with all the bad blood that he has caused for what happened with the cheating scandal, and then not only that, but just the way he acted afterward, like knowing that he wasn't going to get in trouble, knowing that they got a slap on the wrist. I think a lot of players are just very against this guy. So I think the smart money would say stay in Houston, where they like you.
Houston, maybe go the Indians. If they're willing to spend some money.
Indians might be. Oh, they're not the Indians no more. They're the Guardians now.
Cleveland.
The Cleveland Guardians.
Cleveland, Pittsburgh. It's another very bad team. That needs players. Chicago Cubs, big market team. Doesn't have a shortstop. I could see him going there. I don't know if Philly goes and spends money on a hitter. Maybe Philadelphia, their shortstop. Maybe
they could. Did Harper say anything bad about him when all the shit went down? I think Harper was one of those that said some shit.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Those are two teams. Those are a couple teams right there that I could see: Philly, Pittsburgh, Chicago, and Cleveland. Those are some of the teams I could see fitting.
Right on. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, guys. Enjoy whatever sponsors they shoot your way this time. We'll be right back in a couple moments, guys, and we'll get into the NFL and the picks from last week and this week. We're getting there. All right, guys, hang out. All right, guys, we are back. Compa, you good? You looking tired,
man,
sir.
Hanging in. I am exhausted. Way past my bedtime.
It is. I don't think I've ever seen you this late when you're not drinking. This is very weird. So hopefully tomorrow I can coerce you into having one drink with me at least. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into the NFL. I hate to start after the break like this, but the NFL lost a great player this week. Demarius Thomas was found Thursday during the day at home unresponsive. The 33-year-old, who was set to turn 34 on Christmas, had been suffering from seizures for over a year now, and is believed to have had something to do with his passing. He was found in the shower unresponsive by his driver after a friend could not get a hold of Thomas, and he called the driver to take a look into the wide receiver. Thomas played with the Broncos, Texans, Patriots, and Jets. He did sign a one-day contract in July with the Denver Broncos to retire officially as a Bronco. But the NFL world has lost an amazing human being and a great wide receiver. By all accounts, when he played with the Broncos, especially, he was probably at the peak of his career there at that.
Sure.
So, yeah, fucking shit sucks. I didn't know he was having problems with seizures and stuff.
Old, man.
Yeah,
33 years old. That's crazy.
Fuck, I'm fucking 7 years older than this guy. Like Jesus. Our hearts and our prayers go out to the Thomas family and his friends and everybody around him. So I mean, it sucks to see somebody go out that way, and I'm hoping that no other things come out that something else had to do with it, his passing or something like that. So he's resting in peace, and that's all that matters. And it's hard to segue from that kind of tragedy into something else, but we're going to try here. Let's talk about the wild game that happened last night, Thursday night, between the Steelers and the Vikings. For the first 3 quarters, the Vikings looked to be in complete control of the game, blanking the Steelers for more than half of the game. The Steelers decided in the fourth quarter enough was enough. They came back and were one play from tying the game in the final seconds, if not for an amazing play by the Vikings defensive backs. In the last moments of the game, the Steelers may have made one of, if not the greatest comeback in NFL history, being down 29 points, coming back to tie the game. Well, they had to score the touchdown and they had to get a 2-point conversion. They were down by 8 to actually tie the game. But, I mean, the way it looked, man, I don't know if it was the Steelers finally waking up or the Vikings getting complacent and not being able to stop backpedaling. What do you think, Compa?
Maybe it was a great halftime speech.
Well, I mean, they didn't even start scoring until the end of the third quarter.
Maybe it didn't kick in until then.
2 minutes left in the third quarter. Like, hey, guys, remember what I said? Fuck.
I feel like Pittsburgh really faded, last year, dude, and they just never really got out of that funk. And, they've been saying quietly, right, that Big Ben's been telling teammates goodbye and that this is last year and blah, blah, blah. I thought he should have retired last year when he was on top. He had a hell of a year.
Yeah.
But they always think they got one more in them.
Somebody brought this out and said that maybe he did that strategically to try and motivate his guys to kind of play better for his last hurrah, and try to do like some reverse psychology, like, hey guys, I'm leaving. Let's go out and do our best. And they start playing better, but
wait for me. Do
it for the Gipper.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. I mean, that last play, because I stopped watching after the middle of the second quarter. I was like, screw this, dude. I'm not watching this anymore. They're getting blanked. They're getting their ass kicked. Screw that shit. And then I got obviously our thread messages. All of a sudden, I was like, what the hell is happening? I jump on the TV or I jump on my phone and check, and they were 1 touchdown away with 2 minutes left. I was like, what the fuck just happened? Turned on TV, got to watch that last drive and whatnot, but it was fucking interesting, man. They made it a game at the end, but it would have been better if they would have come out with the W.
Yep, should have started sooner.
About 3 quarters earlier, you should have started there. It just shows that they could have done it, but they didn't. Let's see here. Coach McCarthy for the Cowboys came out the other day and guaranteed a Cowboys victory this weekend in Washington. The comment did not sit well with the Washington no-names coach Ron Rivera, which he responded with, he is making it about himself and he is trying to convince his team. I think it's a big mistake. We will show up on Sunday and we will see what happens. Dallas and Washington play each other twice in the next couple weeks. Do you think it was a mistake for McCarthy to come out and guarantee the Cowboys victory? Or do you think Rivera's right and it might backfire and somehow psych out the team, being too worried about what he said?
I do think that. That it could easily backfire more than set them up to actually win. I think they had more to lose than to gain by saying that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do I think the Cowboys were gonna beat them? Yeah, but I don't see how that helped you.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary for him to go out and do that. I think
they've been playing really bad and sloppy lately.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see it. I don't know, man.
They have to come out and make this game kind of a statement with this game. Like, we're getting our guys healthy and we're back and we're gonna win and we're gonna do this. They need to hand Washington a loss. They don't need to barely win, last second heroics. They need to actually go into the fourth quarter going, hey, dude, we're up by 2.5 scores.
And does anybody get off to a slower start than the Cowboys?
No.
Yeah, I just feel like,
I know. Well, except for Pittsburgh this last week.
Yeah. Routinely.
Routinely, no, I don't think so.
Yeah,
for some reason, I don't. It's where that the Cowboys get the ball at the beginning of the game. It's very rare. I couldn't tell you how many times this season, maybe only a couple times, have they taken that first possession and gone down the field and scored a touchdown when they get the ball in the first half. So even in the second half, it's not that first possession. That's the one that you got to make that stance with, and you got to go over there and you got to score a touchdown or put points up on the board. And it just seems like that first time out, regardless if it's the beginning of the game or after the second half, or for the second half, they do not, they don't score. They end up punting or giving the ball away because they like going for it on fourth down now apparently. And but then they, second or third time around, they start scoring and doing that stuff. But I think they need to fix that situation. You're right. I don't know how many other teams start so slow or as sluggish as Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
Do you think they split the series, or do you think one team wins both of those and potentially locks up the NFC East?
I think the Cowboys win both of them. But, I mean, you never know. There are catch games. I mean, look at what happened with, the Broncos.
Any given Sunday.
Yep. You just never know, dude. And Ezekiel is in the fading fast,
He's
bro.
fading very, very fast.
Very fast. And, Joe, God bless his heart. He's like making excuses for him every time. Like, Joe, bro, that's all I've heard for the past 3 years. Oh, he didn't get paid, blah, blah, blah. Then he came back into training camp really fat. And then he didn't have Dak last year. And then this year, he's got a sprained ankle. It's like, bro,
at some points, bro,
years,
at some point,
like, all right,
yeah, Stubble. And then he's in the
play or not.
yeah, he's in the later years for a running back. Especially a running back of his. He's not a finesse running back. I'm going to run through you running back. And those running backs, well, yeah, he was. He's not hurdling people anymore. He's not out sprinting them up the sideline. But fucking Pollard is possibly gonna be out this game because of torn left plantar fasciitis or whatever they call it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. I didn't see that. I like that guy. I think that's the dude that's
gonna
take over already. He's ready to take over.
For those of you guys who have Pollard, pay attention. He may or may not be playing this week, so bon attention. If he doesn't play, then a lot of it's going to ride on Ezekiel Elliott, so he might have a boost game. But it's going to be difficult. They did sign another veteran running back for the game, so we'll see what happens. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I can't wait till Sunday. I'll tell you that much. I'll be here biting my nails, yelling at the TV for sure. Another team in Texas who seems to have this team at least seems to have possibly just thrown in the towel for the season. I mean, they're sitting at 2-10. The Texans have seemingly thrown in the towel. They're done for the season. They're going to go into this week's game handing the ball from Tyrod Taylor to Davis Mills at quarterback. So, I mean, we know who's going to kind of win this next game between the Texans and the Seahawks. I'm sure we're going to pick the Seahawks here in a few. But they're going to kind of the coach came out and said that Davis Mills gives him the best opportunity to win a game the remainder of the season. So they're hoping to go 5-10 at this point or whatever it is. But they still have what's his name sitting on the bench, Deshaun Watson. He's the one that's going to give you the best chance to win the game. But obviously they're not going to let him play.
They didn't even dress him, right?
I hope not.
Yeah.
But if I could, it is what when you're 2-10, man, give it to the rookie guy and let him.
He's kind of like the Trevor Bauer of the NFL right now, no?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah, for sure. 100% behind that statement with Artie.
Yeah.
And then finally, the Bucs, as if they didn't have enough weapons, will be activating Richard Sherman off the injured reserve list for their upcoming game this Sunday against the Buffalo Bills. In many eyes, this could be a preview game for the Super Bowl. Both the Bucs and Bills are at the top of their respective divisions and are well on their way into the playoffs. It's going to be a really interesting game. Defensively, the Bucs are only getting stronger with Richard Sherman there. I mean, obviously, Richard Sherman, and we can say this all the time, right? He's not the old Richard Sherman. He's not the ball hawk Richard Sherman. He's not the Legion of Boom Richard Sherman. But he still makes you wonder before you throw that way.
He's an old crafty veteran.
Oh yeah. He's not throwing his body out there.
I'll take
but
the Bucs, yeah, for sure. I think the Bucs.
I'm going to take the Bucs on this one too against the Bills.
They just don't have any running. They don't have a running game.
The Bills, all their running backs are hurt, and the ones that they do have are not that great.
Right.
Hey, Bills, I got a guy on on my team we don't mind trading for. Anything else in the NFL before we get into the picks from last week and then coming up this week?
Nope.
Not that I heard, right? That's all I got. Let's see. So last week it was
the Chargers, they're dealing with the whole COVID thing. I saw Keenan Allen's not playing.
Oh, you're right.
Mike Williams is going to be he's following the protocols, so he should be available, but Keenan already they said he's not playing.
He gone. All right. Well, Charger fans, hold your breath. Mm-hmm. Are they even playing? Yeah, they are. They're playing the Giants. Well, what a week not to have your best guy out there, right? Playing the Giants. Right. Could be a trap game, though. Could be a trap game. Last week, we had Artie, myself, and Chris, the neighbor. We did our picks. We ended up the week. Artie ended up 7-7. Chris ended up 6-8, and I ended up 8-6. So I took this week once again. It was just a matter of you taking the Jets while I took Philadelphia, even though it hurt me to take Philadelphia. And I repeat myself, it hurt to take Philadelphia. And you were like, and you already locked it in, right? All right. Hurts ain't even going to be on the field. And I'm like, yeah, bro, but it's the Jets.
You're right.
And I was right. Unfortunately, though, for my wallet, I was definitely incorrect with the Chargers beating Cincinnati with double digits. I sent Chris the fucking money. I was so pissed. I was just because I wasn't even paying attention to the game, but I was like, "There's no way Cincinnati loses double digits to the fucking Chargers." Right. And then they lose 38 to they were in Cincinnati, and then they lose 38-12. Like what? Yeah. You're supposed to be contenders, not pretenders. Jesus. Yep. We all picked the Rams to beat Jacksonville. That was a no thing. The one we got a couple. All of us got a couple of them wrong. We all picked Detroit to win. We all picked Minnesota to beat Detroit. Detroit actually got their first win of the season, which was awesome for them. We all picked Las Vegas to beat Washington. Washington shocked Las Vegas. We all picked Pittsburgh to beat Baltimore. We picked Baltimore to beat Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh won. And then we all picked San Francisco to beat Seattle, and Seattle took that one from San Francisco to the chagrin of our boy Platano. I'm sure he was not happy about that one. And then you could have tied with me, but you took Buffalo over New England. Myself and Chris did take New England over Buffalo, and New England got that W.
Just because they were on the road. Bastards.
And then we all picked Minnesota to win last night, and damn, it was close.
There's no spread.
Right? All right, let's look at this week's games, guys. For you guys putting those bets in, let us know if you guys win big or win small. I'll just be happy for you if you win $5. I'm a happy camper. First up, we got Baltimore versus Cleveland. Artie, who do you got? They are at Cleveland.
Yeah, you're probably right. Baltimore.
I'm gonna agree with you there. I'm gonna go with Baltimore as well. Jacksonville at Tennessee.
You're the only 10 I see.
That's right. We got a big game for the AFC West. The Las Vegas Raiders are going into Arrowhead against the Kansas City Chiefs. Who do you have?
Kansas City.
That's right. Had the Raiders won last week against the Giants, I think I might have gone Las Vegas on that one. But because they flopped against the Giants, I just got to go that route. I'm going to go with Kansas City. Right. New Orleans versus New York Jets. Who do you?
I'm not betting against the Jets, so I'm going New Orleans.
I'm going to go with New Orleans as well. I think Taysom Hill, if he's the head of the pack there, he's going to lead the Saints against the Jets and get a W there. We got Dallas at Washington. We both said earlier Dallas is going to get that W, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, Atlanta versus Carolina. At Carolina.
Carolina?
Is that a definitive, or is that a Carolina?
It's a shot in the dark.
All right. The lesser of two evils on that one.
Yeah. Seattle for sure.
We're definitely taking Seattle over Houston on this next one. Houston has just basically given up. Detroit at Denver. Detroit is coming off that amazing one win.
Yeah, still I'm going to take Denver for sure.
Yeah, especially at home up there in the thin air.
Denver's not bad, man. They're not bad. They're not like great or anything, but they're not bad.
Let's see. Do the Giants beat out the Keenan Allen-less Chargers?
I say no. Chargers are a pretty good team.
They are pretty decent.
Yeah, they're
so
bad.
The Chargers. And then we got San Francisco at Cincinnati.
Jeez, before it would have been an easy Cincy.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I'll still take Cincy just because they're at home.
Man, I got to go with you there and go with Cincinnati. I know Platano's screaming over there going, no, it's fucking San Francisco. Ah! Yeah. But no, sorry, Platano. Not going to happen. Super Bowl implications right here. Buffalo versus Tampa Bay. Who do you have? They are in Tampa Bay.
I'm going to take Tampa Bay. I feel like Buffalo's been going down.
I don't think Buffalo can handle, like, they don't have the running game to be able to offset the passing. So I have to go Tampa Bay right now. Especially they got Richard Sherman activated to help with that passing game, or to stop that passing game. So I'll go with Tampa Bay on that one. We got Chicago at Green Bay.
I'm going to take Green Bay. Green Bay don't lose at home.
That's not, especially in December. No.
Yeah.
We got the Rams at Arizona. That's going to be a big NFC West game.
Ew, I know. That's a big one. I want to go. I want to say the Rams, but
who do you got?
okay, I'm going to take the Rams. All right.
Take the Rams. Taking the Rams?
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. Let me write that down here real quick. Oh, where'd they go?
It's right there.
Oh, I know. I was looking for next Thursday's game. All right. So we got the Rams, and I'm going to go with I'm going to go Arizona.
Just to go something different.
Just
right?
to do something different, because I think we went the same all the way through. But I'm going to go with Arizona on that.
A lot of them were too easy, no?
Yeah, Monday night game. And then next Thursday night's game is the Chiefs at the Chargers.
Oh, that's a good game.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a good game. Ugh.
Big implications.
Let's say the Chargers.
Ooh, I'm gonna go Kansas City on this one too. Even though they're gonna be in LA, I'm gonna go Kansas City on this one against the Chargers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
All right, compa. I know you're tired. I don't want to keep you here too late. But is there anything else you want to touch on before we get out of here?
Nah, that's it, man. Looking forward to the holidays and resting up and getting back at it.
When's your last day of school?
Next week on Friday.
Oh, awesome.
Four minimum days next week and one regular day. So.
Nice. Maybe one of those minimum days. You come over here and hang out. I have a regular day every day. So.
Got to see how the grades go and stuff like that. So.
All right, compadre. All right, we'll have to see. I'll see you tomorrow for sure.
For sure.
Outstanding, sir. All right, Artie, give us the patented Artie send off, Papa.
Yeah, make sure you're being careful with the new variant that everybody's talking about. You know, we're not talking about the movie. So yeah, just make sure you wash your hands and keep wearing those masks and take that vaccine if you want. You know, be safe out there and take care of yourselves. And hope to see you guys next week. Take care.
Outstanding, compa. We love you all. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and all the other fun jazz, guys. We'll catch you guys next week. We'll see how we do with the picks and everything like that. Please stay safe. If you guys drinking this weekend, make sure that you guys have a designated driver. We don't want anything or anybody being lost for dumb reasons this close to the holidays. Think of your families. Think of your loved ones. We love you guys all. We'll catch you all next week. Have a good one.